Michael Thomas, who set the single-season record for receptions easily and was the single-season last year receiving yardage leader. The odds makers have made him the favorite to lead the league in receiving yards again. So let's play a little fill-in-the-blank receiver edition. We'll start with Chris. Michael Thomas is the best what, Chris?
I think what I really look at it, and obviously he's in the conversation for best receiver in football, but what I can definitively say where he is the absolute best is he's the best slot receiver in the NFL, in my opinion. And, that's really what he is. He's a big slot receiver, and he's a good route runner. And, of course, because of, his physicality and size and length, he is fearless over the middle. So Sean Payton can devise plays for him that, you couldn't devise for a smaller wide receiver and do things like that. Let alone his good route running, his size. He gets out of the breaks well and all that, but he's got unbelievable hands. He could care less who's around him. And he's just got great feel, which you need as a slot receiver too. You got zone coverage. You got to figure out what hole to sit in and what to do and be on the same page as the quarterback. So that's where I truly think I could say he's absolutely the best. He's the best slot receiver in the game, in my opinion.
I would say he's the best competitor among all skill players in football right now. And, the reason that I say that is that when I watch him, I think he is a more competitive Chris Carter. And I always thought that Chris Carter was like the sickest, almost Michael Jordan type, demeaning everybody to get the ball and to he knew what it took to be great and what it takes to win. And I'm not saying demeaning really in a negative way. I'm saying I am going to win. Everybody understand that. And if I have to, climb all over you to do it, I'm going to do it. And to me, not only physically competitive, because on 50-50 balls, as Sean Payton told me this winter, he makes them 70-30 balls. So on 50-50 balls, he's going to win those. But also, it's just the mental part of him. And going back with Devontae Parker, almost flicking him off his shoulder like he's a mosquito. And hey, dude, you're not in my league. And again, a lot of us will look at that and say, hey, Mike, just relax. Relax about this. Well, he can't because he lives it every day.
I'm going to go way down memory lane here. I had a flash in my mind of Wendell Davis when he was at LSU. Do you guys remember Wendell Davis?
Sure.
He was the guy who blew out both patella tendons on the old
both
green
knees.
cement at Veterans Stadium, both at the same time trying to jump for a ball. Anyway, there was a game at LSU once where everybody knew he was getting the ball, and they kept throwing it to him every play, and they couldn't do anything about it. And that's what Michael Thomas is. Michael Thomas is the best at making the catch when everybody in the stadium knows the ball is coming to him. The defense can't do anything about it. It's inevitable. It happens, and he makes the catch. Even when you can tell the defense is going to Michael Thomas, he's still going to make the catch. And I think that kind of blends together with both of you are saying, and that's why he's so reliable in that Saints offense, because he's their best weapon by far. Becomes interesting with Emmanuel Sanders there this year to take a little heat off of Michael Thomas. But even without Sanders, everyone knows it's going to Thomas. He still finds a way to get open and finds a way to make the catch. All right, the most reliable, gotta-have-it receiver is who, Chris?
Well, I think we know you're going to say Michael Thomas there after just your answer. We kind of know that because that's basically what you just said. He's the most reliable guy. And I think legitimately, listen, for the exercise, Michael Thomas, when it is a big 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6, I'm not so sure he's not the guy I would want to have to throw to. To me, it's between him and I'm going to pick this guy for a little variety, is DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, to me, he goes down for a lot of the same reasons we're talking about Michael Thomas. That's a great saying what Peter King just said there. Yeah, it's 70-30 balls. They're not 50-50 balls. And that goes with DeAndre Hopkins. It's the same thing. I don't know if I've seen better hands in football the last few years than DeAndre Hopkins, catching the ball in traffic with people all around him. I mean, hey, we talk about, Michael Thomas. We know the Saints want to go to him. Hey, at least they throw the ball to Alvin Kamara and Jared Cook and do that. Like, we know in Houston, when it was a big play, it was like, who the hell cares who the other receivers are on the field? Number 4 is going to look for number 10, and that's what he's going to do. And even if he's double covered, he's going to hold the ball and go, I'll wait for number 10 to get open from the double coverage. So to me, he is the ultimate gotta-have-it wide receiver, Nook, as they call him, DeAndre Hopkins.
Look, I'm going to take Jarvis Landry of the Cleveland Browns, and everybody will say, "Well, okay, good receiver, whatever." Jarvis Landry to me is such an uber competitive guy in Michael Thomas's range, and when I really learned the most about Jarvis Landry, I was on a trip a few years ago on one of these NFL trips over to England, we went to Scotland as well. But there was a bunch of players on the trip, and one night I'm on a bus sitting next to Jarvis Landry, and we're on the bus for probably about an hour. And it was I can tell the story now, but at the moment he was talking about, how can I get the Dolphins to pay me? How can I get the Dolphins to believe in me? That night, it was almost like the veins were coming out of his neck. And it wasn't just about the money. It was about, I am one of the greatest. And I am just afraid that my career is going to go by without people seeing that. And it didn't matter. He had a lot of catches. He was kind of stuck in Miami at that point. But I just think, and I watch him play, and I just think of a guy who just wants it so bad and wants everybody to know how bad he wants it.
And, Chris, I was thinking DeAndre Hopkins right out of the gates because of the reality that there was no one else in Houston to throw the ball to in those key moments, in those crunch moments. He's the guy that needed to get it. But, I'll go with Hopkins for that. All right, one more real quickly. The best complementary receiver duo is who, Chris?
Well, I'm going to, this might be Captain Obvious here, but I think you got to go with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin down in Tampa. I mean, you got one guy that's 6'5" and can, run deep and catch 50-50 jump balls. And then, in Chris Godwin, you got the guy that's, arguably one of the best slot wide receivers in the game. And statistically, I think he had one of the best years in the slot. So that's a great combo when you have the big guy that's fast, that can work downfield, and then you got the other guy who can do all the short to intermediate work. To me, that's a very nice compliment with those two there.
I'm gonna surprise you a little bit. I'm gonna take one for the future, okay? And I'm gonna say it's gonna be Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. And again,
ooh,
I know they haven't played football yet. I get it together. I get it. But I just think these two guys, they're similar receivers. They're bigger guys, and they both are incredibly productive. In my opinion, you watch Sutton and Jeudy, and look, Chris, you're absolutely right. If you hadn't taken those two guys, I would have. So I'm scrambling mentally, and I can't wait to see Jeudy and Sutton together.
And the spirit of the phrase complementary would suggest different skill sets, but I'm going to throw that out the window because if you guys aren't going to mention Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins, I will. I'll take them. If they're left, I'll take them and I'll run. Not nearly as fast as they can, but I'll run nevertheless.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.